Steve Glover is taking your calls tonight here on Open Line. We are talking about issues at Metro Council and issues that affect our city. If you have questions, comments, ideas to pass along, this is your time. He's your at-large councilman, 615-737-PLUS. Big difference in the job you've seen going from a district councilman to at-large?
Yeah, but a great change. You know, again, but I also think it's because of the mayor we have now. This mayor doesn't mean he will agree with us on everything, or he and I would agree on everything, but we're talking. I mean, I'm okay with agreeing to disagree.
Sure.
As long as we have a line of communication, and that's been wonderful with Mayor Cooper. And yeah, I really feel like I'm kind of in my element here because I have been around for a while. I was on the school board. I was a district council member. I feel like I have a working knowledge of a lot of different areas of the city, and I certainly, and I know this is going to shock you, I'm a Republican conservative, and so therefore, you know, I have the opportunity, and I've been very fortunate that folks, even those who may not be with the R, they may be independents, moderates, etc., gave me the opportunity to do this. So I take it very seriously, and I'm also extremely humbled by the fact that people have entrusted me to try and go out and do this. And so I'm going to work hard to make sure within my power that I don't let them down.
You said something at the last meeting where the water rate was passed, although it had to be. I mean, there was no option. We had to pass it. But people, explain what the controversy was surrounding that.
Well, it was the pilot program, payment in lieu of taxes. NES pays, I think the quote was like $28 million a year. I don't know how much real estate they've got versus Metro Water Services, but this actually was the pilot program was actually put in place, I want to say 1996, I believe that's correct, and it was set at like $4 million. It was going to help pay for the Titan Stadium. Every time there's been a water rate increase, that pilot was never adjusted based on the value of the property that they have. And so, unfortunately, this all moved extremely fast. You know, I think we can all take blame for not being as thorough and as transparent as we would have all liked to have been. However, I mean, we were sitting on a time clock saying, either you do this or we're going to do it for you.
Right, the state. And
it was built into the plan that the state approved. And so that's where we are.
So is that pilot, is it being adjusted?
It has been, yeah.
Okay.
And in fact, we actually voted at the last council meeting, and there will be $10 million coming to the city coffers. Payment in lieu of taxes.
Right.
I can promise you that property taxes from that are nowhere near what the real estate is the water department has.
All right, let's go to the lines. Linda is on the line. Linda, what's your comment or question tonight? Linda, are you with us?
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's
yes.
okay. Go ahead.
Well, I have a comment and a couple of questions for Mr. Glover. I would like to first say all these big corporations and businesses coming in, they're running the local Nashvillians out, both because of the real estate and I just wonder what he thinks about the Amazon deal and also because that's going to end up costing more with fire protection, police, and everything else. And also the businesses downtown, like all the bars, do they pay their fair share? I know they have more garbage pickup, more security they have to have for them and everything. So I was just wondering his opinion on those things.
Okay. Thank you, Linda. All right, I'm going to hang up on you so you can listen to your TV now and catch the answer there. All right, so first of all, the Amazon deal. A lot of moving parts from Wilson County to new property purchased here. Your take? What's happening?
I voted for it. And again, I'm not going to apologize. It's 5,000 jobs that were great paying jobs that will be and, you know, are great paying jobs. I voted for it also because I was watching the sequence of events that occurred in New York when they backed it down. The state had already cut the deal. the mayor had already cut the deal. By the time it came to the council, the deal was cooked.
Right.
Now, we could have said no, but if we did that, unfortunately, and this is the hardest part for folks to really kind of understand, and I'm really not being a smart aleck when I say this, but if we had said no and we had retracted it and just overturned everything that had already been put in place, then it would have been detrimental for us down the road. It's sort of like the Bridgestone deal. If we'd have said no on that one, it wasn't 1,100 jobs we would have lost. It was literally thousands and thousands of jobs because of all the support piece. So you really have to look at it, weigh it, and determine, is it good for the city? Time will tell us, but I do believe, based on the fact that in the last 5 years we've got an additional revenues of 32%. Where our problem fell, we have additional revenues of 32%, but we spent 38% more.
Right.
That doesn't work. It doesn't work in your household,
Nope.
mine. It doesn't work on anybody's checkbook. So when we do these, and I think it goes right back to the question you asked me earlier, is it time to curb those down? Yeah, it is. We need to get a handle, and all this revenue these new companies and everything are bringing in, we need to invest that back in the community for the infrastructure and the other pieces, the police, the fire, etc., in order to accommodate all these folks and do the right things.
I mean, I think that when people hear it, they're like, yeah, that's a no-brainer, but why hasn't that been done for the last 10 years? Where's that revenue boost gone?
Well, because, we
don't have the police officers, firefighters, or great, teacher pay to show for it.
There are people who were in office that like plaques more than they like perhaps doing the right thing and making the hard choices and saying, we need to fix our water, we need to fix the infrastructure, we need to make sure the potholes are handled, we need to make sure we're doing these things. It's not sexy, but it is absolutely what we should be doing, and is our responsibility to the citizens of Nashville to do those things in order for you to have a safe living environment, and also a safe environment as a whole here in Nashville.
Right. All right, let's get to Gary. Oh, Gary, are you still there? Oh, I think I knocked you off the air, Gary. Hang on. Hi, Gary, you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, good. Go ahead.
I would just like to say that I've been listening to your show here for a few minutes now. I hear the subject of legalizing medicinal and recreational marijuana come up, and the gentleman keeps saying it's out of his jurisdiction, but you've seen at least a good handful of states cure their money problems in each county. It might be at a state level. My suggestion is this gentleman speaking needs to either he step up or get someone that can get to the state level and start trying to resolve this. You've seen it work in other states, and it isn't all about charging more taxes on land, because Davidson County is going to continue to grow. Oh my goodness.
All right. Again, let's address this.
So we're going to agree to disagree because I have no jurisdiction in this whatsoever. The council has no jurisdiction. In fact, if you remember, there was a bill passed a few years ago that said, hey, if you have a half ounce or something like that, then you only get a ticket in Nashville.
Yes.
Well, the state stepped in and said, nope,
no.
And they overruled us, and they clamped down. We in the council do not have the authority for this. We need to remember there are no such things as sovereign cities in the state. There are sovereign states, but not sovereign cities. So under the Tennessee state constitution, that's what allows each city, municipality, et cetera, to exist. And then when we try to determine what's going to be good for the overall economy, Tennessee is like among the top 5. In fact, I believe we're among the top 3 fiscally run states in the entire country. Now, there'll be people who say, well, you have too much money there, we're not paying for this, we're not doing this, we're not doing those things. Again, it goes back to the state. But it's pretty sad when the state is run so efficiently and the city of Nashville has a much, much larger bond debt than the state does as a whole.
Yeah, and clearly people are very passionate about this medical marijuana or recreational marijuana, you know, moving forward. And that's where you just have to get in the ear of your state lawmakers. That's who you need to be talking to, calling and emailing. It'll be up there again this next session, which starts
I'm certain tomorrow.
So that's who you need to call, because we did a story on it last week, and some people said, I don't think it's going to pass again, but we're going to try. So there you go. Hopefully that helps. Okay, we have to take a quick break. I have to do it, so we'll be right back after this.